I have a lot to discuss in this video, so we'll just get the stuff going by quickly. I have two reviews, a rant, and news. So let's get the reviews out of the way. Survivor Series, I thought was okay. I've been going back and forth in my mind between 6, 7, 5, and 7. I'm deciding on a 6, 7, 5. The show was okay. I mean, if the main event was booked better, I'd probably go 7. But since it wasn't, in my opinion, I'm gonna go 6, 7, 5. Very quickly, opener 3 1/4. Second match, star and 3/4. Third match, 3. Fourth match, star and a half. Fifth match, 3.5. Sixth match, 2 3/4. As far as the Punk Alberto Del Rio stuff, I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying this match was awesome and all this and that. To me, it wasn't. I'm sorry, what can I say? To me, this match was a 3.5-star match. I enjoyed it, but that's all it was for me. Sorry. And the main event, The Rock. It's nice to see The Rock back and everything, but the match was really your standard house show tag match. I honestly, I didn't really see this as any quality pay-per-view main event. I mean, I thought the match was fine. I didn't like the ending. I did not like Rock and Cena going over. I wasn't asking for a Cena heel turn like I know some people were. I was asking for something. Cena giving Rock a receipt for giving him the rock bottom at WrestleMania. That would have made logical booking sense. Or even just something, anything besides just pin. Let's pose together and then, I'll give you a rock bottom that you won't sell and we'll just stare at each other. I mean, it really didn't do much for me. That whole rock bottom at the end, that was the payoff for whatever. The past 2 weeks of WWE TV have been absolutely horrendous, and I think it's all because of this angle. The angle with Cena, Rock, Truth, and Miz has just been fucking horrible. Horrible the past 4 weeks. Like, it's been really, really bad. With, like, Cena beating up Miz and Truth by himself, and then Miz and Truth getting a sneak pin on Cena and Cena not caring, and then Rock beating up Miz and Truth by himself. This thing has just been really horrible. And I've just been waiting for the day for this angle to end, and it's ended. Rock and Cena, I mean, they added stuff to their WrestleMania feud, but not really that much in my opinion. To me, it was just, there wasn't much to it. This shit could have happened on Raw. The exact same sequence of events. Obviously, The Rock, first time appearing, shouldn't have been on Raw, but I'm just saying, it didn't really feel that special to me. And the match, I thought was 2 3/4. Some people think that's negative. It's not. I thought the match was average. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. I thought it was okay. I can't call it good. I can't call it bad. It was okay. I have no problems with it. Was it necessarily a pay-per-view quality main event? Probably not. But, maybe if I ordered the show, I'd be more upset about it, but I didn't, so what can I say? The show, 6, 7, 5. There's some good matches, but not much. The booking, Punk winning the title was great. I like that. Team Barrett going over, I really like that. I like that more than Punk winning the title, actually. Because Punk's character has been fucking dead to me the past 3 weeks. They've booked him horrible. I think someone made this report. Someone reported this to Dave and Brian, and I didn't believe it. But when I really thought about it, it made sense that Punk hasn't won a match on television since he beat John Cena at SummerSlam, and I couldn't believe that. But when I started to think about it, he lost the number one contenders match to John Cena on Raw. He lost to Triple H at Night of Champions. He lost to Alberto Del Rio at Hell in a Cell. He lost to Truth and Miz at Vengeance. Like, really, when I really started to think about it, I thought, this guy hasn't won on TV. It's quite fascinating, actually. He's been booked terrible, and his whole character, just the whole agreeing with Triple H thing, like most people, I was turned off by that. That to me made no sense whatsoever. And so him winning the title, while I love Punk, and I'm happy he won the title, from a storyline perspective, didn't make much sense. So, but Team Barrett going over, I really like that, because I'm a big Wade Barrett fan, a big Cody Rhodes fan too. Very happy to see them go over. And not much to say. I mean, if they don't do Dolph and Zach at the next pay-per-view, they're morons. But aside from that, Big Show and Henry I really didn't like. I kind of hated that match, actually. And I'm not the stereotypical Mark who doesn't appreciate proper storytelling like some people are, because I actually like their match in Money in the Bank, and I really like their match at Vengeance. So, what can I say? This match was disappointing. So yeah, overall, a decent Survivor Series. Was it better than last year's? Probably. Last year's main events really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was at that show. So Survivor Series is out of the way. Now let's get into a little bit something that has been bothering me for a long time. I wanted to make this video last week, but I've just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Never had the time to make it, but now I'm going to make it. Because this really pissed me off. Alright, I make my Chikara Maiden video, and I get all these comments. Wow, what is this shit? 9 out of 10? You overrated this crap. All these comments after comments after comments after comments. And the whole ratings thing really bothers me. Because there's some people, like I remember there was one time when I rated a Shoot DVD a few months ago. And Instant Classic was like, did you rate a Shoot DVD? I want people to realize ratings are numerical expressions for verbal translations. When you say something is great, saying it is 4 stars is a simple translation of that meaning. It's not anything else but that. You can rate anything. I can rate this video 5.5. I can rate this video 3.5 stars if I want. Because why? Let's say I thought this video was very good. 3.5 stars is just a fucking translation of that word. They're fucking translations. People treat these ratings like you can't rate anything. Why does this rating system to you? People rate shit all the time. People rate movies. People rate athletes. People rate wrestling shows. People rate, and this video probably has a few ratings on the star system level. People treat these ratings like it's like this only specifically designed thing. It could be for anything. I rate these scissors 3.5 stars. They're very good at getting their job done. I rate this broken highlighter 1.5 stars. It's not a very good highlighter. It doesn't do its job properly. It's fucking a translation. That's all it is. You people take it for something much more than what it's supposed to be. And now, this is the part that really bothers me. All those comments on my videos saying, you overrated it. You overrated it. And even Truthslayer, and I respect the man, but even he on Twitter was like, you overrated it. This is what bothers me. You don't overrate anything. Nothing in life is overrated. Nothing in life is underrated. There's no set universal rating for everything. My Survivor Series pay-per-view rating, I'm pretty sure you'll find people with higher or lower numbers. There's no set rating. There isn't. Why do people think there is? People think there's this set numerical value, the average value rating for every show. And if it's higher than that, that means you overrated it. And if it's lower than that, means you underrated it. That doesn't make fucking sense. You people overrate your star ratings. You treat them like something more than they are. They're expressions, and there is no set standard for anything. You know what? For a movie like, let's see, a movie like The A-Team, which came out like last year, I believe. I thought that movie was fun. From a storyline perspective, there was a lot of shit that didn't make any sense, but as far as an action, blow-up, blockbuster, popcorn flick, it was enjoyable. It was. I enjoyed the movie. Roger Ebert, I believe, gave that movie a star. Because my opinion didn't correspond to his set aesthetical opinion, that means my opinion is wrong. Because that's what a lot of you are saying. If you go above or below the standard, it means you're wrong. Because you have to be centered towards a certain standard. This is why this system is bullshit. Okay, I enjoy the guys on this podcast. I follow a lot of them on Twitter with their Twitter names Ben Turpin, Pod Johnny Ringo. Typical ROH fan is pretty awesome. These guys have great tweets, and I believe they all report for a radio show called Freedom and Mission FR or something like that. Well, the radio show's account, Freedom and Mission FR, posted a comment on that video that made me more angry than any other comment. It said, I wonder in anyone's world, is there anyone else's world that rated the Ultramatch Black Hollow Wicked Tim Nelson Aries match 4 stars? Because no one else rated it that. Because no one else rated it 4 stars, that means it can't possibly be a 4-star match. That is the most illogical, dumbest comment I got in that video. Of all of them. Of all of them. And I respect those guys. I don't know who wrote that comment, but that is literally the dumbest comment I got of all my comments. Because no one else rated it 4 stars, that must mean it can't be 4 stars. What fucking logic is that? What logic is this? We all have our different standards for rating stuff. True Slayer was saying how, well, you should have rated it based on how new fans would appreciate it. Some people were saying, well, you should have rated it only on the fun and nothing on the wrestling. Some people were saying you should have only rated it on the wrestling. Everyone has their own different backgrounds for rating shit. That's why there is no set rating standard. Now, how I rated it? Quite simply put, just like Final Battle. When there's a show of this type, my number one priority is, did they resolve the feuds? Were all the feuds resolved, and were all the seeds planted for next year? And for High Noon, fuck yeah, they were. Did I have a shitload of fun watching that show? Yes. Was there great matches? Yes. I thought that show was amazing. I give it a 9. This makes no sense that people go crazy when most of them had the same star ratings that I did. Doesn't that bother you? Does that make any sense? That we rated all the matches almost all the same, except for, of course, the Ultra Mantis Black match. And I rated mine a little higher. And you're all like, well, that makes no sense. You clearly overrated it. But we rated each match the same. And this it just drives me crazy. Why is there this notion that the most common rating is the set rating? And what also bothers me is when people overrate shit, people jump on their shit cases. But when people underrate it, no one cares. It's like, oh, this guy was just harsher than most people. Do we have that little confidence in our own opinion that when something is underrated, we're like, okay, he just didn't like as much as we did. That's no big deal. He's still smart and intelligent. But when they overrate, it's like, oh, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You overrated it. That makes no sense. If there's a standard, if you go above or below that standard in the same magnitude, you should deserve the same criticism. But in our community, it's whenever you overrate something, it's clearly that you don't know anything about wrestling, you didn't view the match the right way. But when you underrate, it's just, oh, well, you know, he just saw it in a little more tighter fashion. Is that how exaggerated we see our ratings? That we are acceptable? We accept when people lower rate matches because they clearly know what they're talking about if they didn't like it as much. But when they overrate, oh, no, that's when they're wrong? This stuff bothers me. It just makes no sense. And this is what bothered me the most. I got all those comments. You overrated it, you overrated it, you overrated it. Let's use your logic. What was the average rating for that show? What was the rating that I got on most of my comments, that on other people's videos, the most common rating I saw? 8.5. I rated 0.5. 0.5 above the average rating, and I get criticisms that it's overrated. Why? Because this community makes no sense. 0.5? What? And there were a lot of people that gave it an 8. Oh, but like you underrated, so it's okay. It's okay when you underrate it. It's when you overrate it, that's when there's a problem. And like even because people have their own preconceived notions that this 9 is like this stepping stone into something else. I agree. When I give a show a 9, I think it means it's amazing. But like True Slayer was telling me on Twitter, this show was not a show of the year. This show was not a show of the year candidate. When did I say it was a show of the year candidate? I never said that. Just because for some people, for a 9 means show of the year, doesn't mean it means it for me. I never said that High Noon was a show of the year candidate, ever. I may have said it's one of the most funnest shows of the year. I probably said that. Never said it was a show of the year candidate. Never. But people, because some people view a 9 as that, they think, oh, well, he must view it as that too, therefore this is wrong. It's illogical, people. There were a lot of people that gave that show an 8.75. There were some people that thought I underrated the show. 0.5 points above the average rating, and it's overrated. This is the problem. Ratings are meaningless. They are expressions of words. You can rate anything. Like really, my God, anything can be rated. Anything that you say, anything that you express with an emotion of magnitude, like that's great, that's bad, that's poor, you can translate that into a star rating. There is no set rating. That's why there is no set opinion. There is no set opinion in this community. Everyone has their own. Everyone's different. And just because someone's a little higher than yours, oh, they're wrong. They're wrong. What if someone gave Punk Alberto Del Rio 5 stars tonight? I wouldn't agree. No, let's even better example. 4 stars, which quite a few people did. I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. But if someone gave it 4.5 stars, they would get on their backs. But I guarantee you, no one's going to get on my back for rating it 3.5. That's the problem. We all have to design around, it's like a less than or equal to equation. Your rating must be less than or equal to, damn it, phone. Your rating must be less than or equal to the average value of the show, or else you're wrong. That's what this community prescribes by. We all have our different reasons for rating stuff, people. Fucking get off your high horse. You guys are going crazy for something so stupid. Maybe I'm ranting for something so stupid. I don't know. Either way, that shit was pointless. Sorry. Pathetic. Almost. Pathetic. You know I don't like to call my subscribers stupid, but I'm not going to call them stupid. But you guys overreact to something so insignificant as a rating. God. Alright. Chikara review. I don't want to talk much about this show. Chikara watches my videos from time to time. I get comments all the time from them. All the time from them. But for me personally, I just feel that this show was disappointing. I thought it was very disappointing, actually, because I consider myself a fan of the product, and therefore, I gotta say this. If Chikara's watching this video, there is one thing I have to say. I did not have fun during this show. And that, more than ever, is an automatic criticism on Chikara. Because for every show, I have fun. I have tons and tons of fun. That's why they're my favorite promotion. Because wrestling's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. So therefore, my favorite promotion is the one that gives me the most fun. And that's Chikara. But this show wasn't fun. And when Chikara isn't fun, there's not much left to it. I mean, they do have good wrestlers. Really good wrestlers, actually. But still, when it's not fun, it loses a lot of its luster. And this show wasn't fun. And Chikara, if you're watching, that was a problem. Granted, this was a bad weekend. The Reading show got canceled. So they had to kind of combine both shows, like with Young Lions Cup. Like Jigsaw Eddie Edwards was supposed to happen on night 1, as was Eddie Kingston, Vin Gerard. And another match was supposed to happen on night 1 as well. But they kind of pushed these shows together. And there was some decent stuff on here. The first 2 matches were just whatever. I don't hate Marion Fontaine. I think he has a good gimmick. He's got a good look. He's a little too skinny, but he's really tall, and he's kind of fun to watch. So he did fine. The Roughnecks 3.0 Colony Material I thought was a fun match. Jigsaw Eddie Edwards I thought was good, but I don't know. I mean, I was just like, I'm not saying that I was bored, because I definitely was not bored. I was very into it, but at the same time, I wasn't all that super entertained. I was just kind of like this. Oh, that's cool. Good spot. Good match. Yay. Next. It didn't really have my emotional investment. I still paid attention to every spot, and I liked the moves that they were doing. I thought it was a very good match. I thought it was the second best match on the show. It just didn't really captivate me that much. Green at Tim Dallas, I didn't like that much. Just wasn't into it. Eddie Kingston, Vin Gerard, I really didn't like this match. I really didn't like this match. And I didn't have a problem with the finish like Trademark did, or Matchmark, as me and LD are starting to call him. Matchmark629. I didn't have a problem with the finish. I thought the finish made sense, considering it's pretty obvious that Eddie Kingston and Vin Gerard are going to be feuding over the title next year. But still, this match was just very slow. It was very prodding. They didn't really do much. Considering this was originally supposed to be the main event of night 1, I thought they would put up something a little more. If this was the main event of night 1, they wouldn't have had this quality of a match. But I'll come back to that. Hold on. Keep that thought. That match was fine. Fist versus the Throwbacks was my favorite match of the night. That's the only match that was really, really like popping for the near falls, and I had emotional investment. Maybe it's because the Throwbacks are my favorite team in wrestling. They're awesome. Sugar Dunkerton, Dash Hatfield, if you guys are watching this, you two guys are the best act in all of wrestling. And Chuck Taylor and Nick Royce had a good showing. And the match was really fun. I really liked it. I was very into everything. Maybe just because the Throwbacks are so awesome. But it was fun. I really enjoyed that match. Sarah Del Rio Torres I didn't like. I'll explain why I didn't like it, but I just didn't like it. Spectral Alma versus BDK was fine. It was just too long in my opinion. And I wasn't really into it at the beginning. I kind of got into it towards the end, but not enough to fully get me into it. But this is my rant on that connects everything on the show. Why were the double main events the way they were? If you were going to book Sarah Del Rio and Torres to be a 5-minute disqualification, yes, I'm ruining it. If you were going to book it to be a 5-minute disqualification, don't put it in the semi-main event. It's simple. If the main event is going to include Jacob Hammermeyer, who I like, but he's not main event worthy unless he's in a trio. And if he's in a tag, it better be with someone in the BDK like Aries or Donst, not Delirious. No offense to Delirious, he's a very good worker. But just that dynamic in the main event wasn't going to fly. I mean, really, why couldn't you have the Campeones de Parejas match at the main event? That title, at this point, is the biggest title in Chikara. That title should main event every show, in my opinion. It always bothers me when it doesn't main event. It's the Campeones de Parejas. Unless it's a King of Trios, maybe a Young Lions Cup. Like I know at Revelation X, the Campeones de Parejas was the sub-main event because they had Vin Gerard and Equinox for the Young Lions Cup in a ladder match. Okay, I get that the ladder match main events in that scenario. But, like, in normal circumstances, like, even in the New York show where Eddie Kingston and Fire was the main event, at least I can see that Eddie Kingston's the number one guy in the company, and that was his hometown, and that was a 12 Large Summit match, and that match is kind of what sealed Eddie Kingston to take the block. I can kind of, I still didn't agree with it, but I can kind of see it. But this? Spectral Envoy BDK, that was more important? Come on. They should have just put the Campeones de Parejas match in the main event. Or you could have put Eddie Kingston and Vin Gerard as the main event. That was supposed to be the main event of the Reading show anyways. It wouldn't have made a big difference if you just put it the main event of this show. They should have put it the main event of this show, given them a lot of time, and they could have done the same thing that they would have done the night before. Why were these two matches the co-main events? They just left the show off in a bad taste in my mouth. Up to the Campeones de Parejas match, I thought the show was good. You know, it was alright to good. The last two matches is kind of what made me go, this show wasn't very good. I mean, really, if they knew they were going to do a 5-minute DQ, why was it the co-main event? That makes no sense to me, damn it. And the main event, Chikara, I get that Delirious almost turned on Jacob, but was there really any key storyline elements in this match that had to make it main event? You could have just as easily had the Campeones de Parejas match or the 12 Large Summit match at the main event. Come on. I didn't like that. Also, the attendance for this show was horrendous. Do not go back to Williamsport, Chikara. Do not go back to Williamsport. I understand that there was a big storm. I get it. But at the same time, the attendance was very poor at the last Williamsport show as well. So, you know, it's that theory that college professors tell you that you need to get your shit together. You can't ever be late to your job because there's going to be that day that your car breaks down, you're late, and then you're like, oh, fuck, my car broke down. But if that was the only time that ever happened, it wouldn't be a big deal. But when you also were late another time just for slacking off, that's when it screws you over. Same scenario in this one. You have to have good attendance at all the shows, so when there is that situation where, oh, fuck, there was a snowstorm, oh, shit, the attendance is going to suck. If that was the only time, that'd be like, okay, shit happens. But since you already had a repeated occurrence of it happening poorly before, well, it's not just shit happens. Now you've disappointed me twice in a row. Why should I waste my time? Same message, Chikara. Do not go back to Williamsport. I'm sorry. Do not go back. So this show is a 6.25. Worst Chikara show of the year. Like I said, the wrestling's fine, but to me the problem is just, besides the booking of the main events, to me the problem is just the lack of fun. If this show had been fun, the rating would have been a lot higher. But it wasn't fun, and that's what bothered me. Because it wasn't fun, I couldn't really enjoy it. So, sorry, Chikara, but disappointing effort, in my opinion. Alright, 6.25 out of 10. Last thing I need to talk about before I go off the air, the Sanders Robin interview. I will get it up soon. I was editing it. It took a lot more time than I thought. But I will finish it. I just need to finish editing it, so bear with me. Once I finish editing it, I will post it up immediately. But also, this is kind of the big thing, kind of big news. I will not be able to attend Final Battle. The date change was just horrible. It's the day before Christmas Eve. If I knew when the day was changed, immediately I knew I'm probably not going to go. I finally found out 2 weeks ago that, yeah, I can't go. The day change is just, it's impossible. So, I have 2 front row tickets. 2 front row tickets for that show in the Hammerstein. If you want them, send me a message. Send me a personal inbox. Do not post a comment. Send me a personal message saying I'm interested in the tickets. 2 front row tickets for Final Battle. I'm selling them for $90 a pop. Yes, I know that's expensive, but here's the facts. I paid $100 each. $100 each. I'm selling them to you for $90 each. And also, for a commodity as hot as a New York ticket first row, I know I could sell them on StubHub for $120 a piece and sell them both. But because you guys are my subscribers and I love you guys, I'm going to give you guys a fair chance. So I'll give you first bidding and I'll lower the price to below the face value. But I can't lower it much more than that. I mean, I don't want to lose that much money off this deal that I'm already losing. If you send me it's $90 a pop. That face value was $100 a pop. I could sell them on StubHub for much more. Hell, you can sell them on StubHub for much more. I don't care. And there will be no shipping and handling, and I will explain why only to the person that buys them. I will not explain them as to why, but let me just say there will be no shipping and handling, okay? I'll explain when you buy the tickets. So yeah, send me a message if you're interested. If multiple people are interested, then I'm going to have to pick a raffle then, because there's just no way to decide. But please confirm that you're interested. Don't give us like, I'm not sure. No, you're sure. I want to buy 2 Ring of Honor front row New York tickets for Final Battle. $90 each. That's my offer on the table. So yeah, if you're interested, send me a message. All right, Chikara was okay. Survivor Series was okay. And yeah, ratings suck. All right, I'm going to ask you then. Come on, guys. Goodbye.